Hi, my name's Jonny, and today we are checking out the JPB-300 from Jet Guitars. If you are new around here, you have to go and like and subscribe. I will not be continuing until you do so. Okay, I'm too excited to talk about this Jet bass. Jet guitars are one of these brands you might find in your local shop. Kind of a hidden gem. I've seen their kind of gold jazz bass around for a while, and I actually managed to play one at the Bristol Guitar Show, and I was pretty damn impressed with what I had. And so I was super excited to check out this bad boy, their version of the famous Fender Precision bass. You can probably guess what JPB stands for. Johnny's Pooey Bum. No, jazzy playing, baby. Jet Precision bass. Before we get into the full spec list of this thing, I do need to say that this video is sponsored by Jet, and they did send me this bass to borrow to check out for today's video. So it does technically class as an ad, but that isn't going to change what I say, my opinions, etc, etc. You get your good old honest boy giving you a good old honest time. Starting up at the top of the bass, of course, it's immediately noticeable that this is a roasted maple neck that we have on here. And my first impressions of this bass, it smells incredible. My room has been stinking of roasted maple. One of the best smelling basses out of the box I've ever had. Sounds stupid, but that is a contributing factor to how much I'm enjoying this bass. So a beautiful Canadian roasted maple neck with a satin finish on the back that feels so smooth. Perfect finish on the back. I love this. This is great. So we have got all chrome hardware on here. We can see it says made in China on the back there. And I have to say, these machine heads are probably the best machine heads I have felt on an affordable bass. They feel such high quality, really, really nice, just super thick and solid, and like they're not going anywhere. I've had this bass in here for a couple of weeks now, and I've barely had to tune this. Really, really great hardware. Now, the first thing I don't quite like about this bass though, and that I noticed straight away, is that the nut is quite sharp. This isn't noticeable when you're playing, but it's certainly one of those little details that you wouldn't get on a bass that is upwards of like £500. And let's not forget, this bass is £385 new. It's pretty comparable to a Squier Classic Vibe in terms of price and specs that we can compare. The fret job is good. Not great, it's certainly not spiky, but you can feel them poking out pretty consistently along there. It's nothing that's detracting from the playing experience though, like this isn't a big concern, but when comparing it to like a Squier, the Squier definitely wins in this department. Like I said, we've got a roasted maple neck that is a modern C shape. It's a 12-inch radius with 1.5 inches at the nut. Standard in terms of chunky P bass, but still got that modern C, so it is more of a comfy shape. So it's kind of wider than it is fatter, really comfy, not too big, not too small. I've heard that one before. Moving up to our roasted poplar body, we've got this incredible kind of forest or emerald green finish, which with the taut pick guard looks really, really cool. We've got a classic vintage style bridge with brass saddles. So again, on the hardware front, a really, really good feature. So I think in terms of hardware compared to something like a Squire, this is definitely ticking more boxes. I'd say overall that the knobs feel pretty good quality and the input jack feels good, you know, overall build quality and spec wise, feels pretty solid. In terms of playability, like out the box, this feels fantastic. It's a dream to play, honestly. I can't stress enough how good the setup is on this out of the box. Really, really impressive. Let's now have a listen to what this can do. So for this demo, we are going straight from the bass into the Line 6 HX Stomp. We're going to have a listen to just the DI tone, and then we'll turn on an amp sim and play around with some effects. This is the pickup at full volume, the tone all the way open, and playing with a pick. Just a solid sounding P bass at the end of the day, you know, like what's not to love of that signature growl? I will say that I have had to lower this pickup because of my playing style. When I was playing aggressively, I found that the strings were hitting the pole pieces and so making big spikes in volume when I was playing, and you can kind of still hear that if I really dig in. See that? If you're playing really hard on this, that is going to be a bit of a problem. Like I said, I've lowered this already and it has reduced the output. It's not very loud, this bass. So for me, I think that's not so great, but overall it is solid sounding. I think that the pots on this are actually quite nice, you know, for this kind of price point. You might not expecting them to be that good. It might act like a bit of an on-off switch, you know, with the tone. But I think that although it certainly ramps up when you start getting towards tone being 100% off, I think overall it does a great job. So this is the tone with like 25% rolled off, 100% on. So there is already a really noticeable difference when you're turning it down just a little bit at those open stages, which is a really promising sign. Right, let's have a listen to this now with an amp sim. In the Line 6 HX Stomp, I have got activated now the Gallien-Kruger head going into the Ampeg SVT 8x10. This is again with a pick, tone all the way open. Yeah, this sounds great. In terms of a clean sound, I feel like it's missing a little bit of that P-bass sizzle. It's missing a little bit of that punchy mid-range. I'm just going to boost the mids to see what that does to this. It sounds a little bit scoopy for a P-bass, and I've just boosted the mids, and it's just got so much more life in it now. I can see this now cutting through a mix really, really nicely. Yeah, it's cool. Let's play with some effects now. That is the built-in rack clone into the HX Stomp, and this bass really suits that sound, I think. So there we go. Let me know in a comment down below what you think about the sound of this bass. Kind of got a bit more of a natural scoop to it, I think. So I found myself needing to adjust the EQ a little bit to kind of bring some more life out of the sound of this bass. Again, with the pickup height, that was the only thing setup wise out of the box that just was not right for me. It might be okay for some people that are really light players, but for me, going hard with a pick, no way. The output was correct, but the pole pieces of the magnets were just too close to the strings, and so the strings were hitting against them and creating these kind of peaking sounds. So having lowered the pickup now to adjust for that, it has lost some output, and perhaps that's where it's losing some of that mid-range a little bit because it's kind of less hot now. But that combined with the slightly sprouting frets and the sharp nut are probably the only issues I've had with this bass. Everything else feels absolutely fantastic about it. It's not too heavy either. This is how much it weighs. I always forget to weigh these basses before I start recording. So this is how much it weighs. And wow, look at that. Oh, thank you so much to Jet for sending me this bass. If you want to check it out for yourself, have a look at the specs, some more pictures, and find out where you can buy one, make sure you click the link in the description to check out that website. Once again, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.